How you doing, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel, whichever it may be. As you can see today, I'm having a look at the Deadpool from the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, the battling version. Quick look at the box there. You can see we have on the outer sleeve, we have some nice artwork of Deadpool with some battle damage on him and some bullets flying in the air, and he's removing his katanas from the scabbards on his back. On the side there, we have just an extension of that particular image at the front and Deadpool battling version written on the side. And then on the back, we have some information about Hot Toys and some warnings as per usual. And then we have a Disney logo in the reflective sticker on the back there. And then if I pull this sleeve off, you can see we have more artwork of Deadpool at the bottom there with his katanas. And then the Deadpool logo with the Wolverine claws coming through it. And then on the front, as you can see there, I haven't even removed the figure from the box. I haven't even opened the box yet. But there's all the figure and a heck of a lot of accessories and bits and bobs that come with them. So without further ado, let's have a quick pan of the figure and we'll go through the details after that. So here we are for a quick pan of Deadpool, the battling version. You can see the base there is based on the opening sequence. There's some blood splatter on the ground there, which looks really nice effect to it. And moving up, you can see there's quite a lot of weathering and damage to him. You can see he has 3 little stab wounds in his leg, possibly from Wolverine's claws. And quite a lot of weathering on him all the way up. And you can see he has the Wolverine claws attached to him, just like the opening sequence with the Wolverine bones. Now, in my opinion, this particular battling version of Deadpool is a little bit too dirty and a bit too battle damaged for that opening sequence. I do believe this cleaner version would probably be more fitting to have those claws on him. You can see I actually have the present toys head sculpt on that particular Deadpool, and I will be doing a comparison a bit later on between that head sculpt and the newer Hot Toys head sculpt, so stay tuned for that. And I'll also be doing a comparison between the two Deadpools as well, so stay tuned for that section there. So just going back to the battling version of Deadpool, as I said, there is quite a lot of weathering on him. Even at the back, there's a lot of weathering as well. We'll get into all the details a bit later on, but I would just ask you at this point in time to please hit the subscribe button. It really does help out the channel, and if you like this kind of content, keep your eye out for more. So there we have for a quick pan of the battling version of Deadpool, and let's get into the accessories and see what we have. So here we have all of the accessories that come with the battling version of Deadpool, and as you can see, there is quite a lot of accessories with this guy, and it's going to take a few minutes to get through them all. I'll do my best to get through them all as quickly as I can. I do want to move these head sculpts out of the way because my camera just wants to focus on them. We have the fully unmasked Wade Wilson head sculpt, which, like I said, we'll be doing a comparison with the present toys one a bit later on. He does have the rolling eyeball function. He has the rolling eyeball function on him there. Like I said, we'll do a comparison with this and the present toys one a bit later on. And then we have the half-mast head sculpt, I suppose you'd call it, which nice little bit of detail to it there as well. And again, we'll have a closer look at this a bit later on. I'll pop it on the figure and we'll have a look at it a bit later on. Then we have, starting from the top, we have his adamantium bone nunchucks, I suppose you'd call them, that he fashions in the opening sequence. And you can see they are painted quite well. You can see that there is that kind of adamantium silver effect to them, plus there's also some weathering on them as well, because obviously we know that Wolverine had been buried for some time. And what I really like about these is the wire running through them, which allows you to manipulate and fashion them however you want, which is a really nice touch to have that wire in them. And they're both exactly the same. They're both identical to each other, and they're both pliable, and you know, you can move them around whichever way you want. And there's 2 holes in them there, which I'm not 100% sure what that's all about, but I'd assume that's about injecting the mold around the wire maybe. But there we have it for his Wolverine bone nunchucks, which are pretty cool. I really like them. Not something I'll be using, but they're still a nice accessory to have. Then we have the Wolverine skull and bones and the spinal cord, and painted really nicely. You can see the little tufts of hair just like they wore in the movie, a bit of greyness to them as well. It does have the adamantium effect to it with the weathering on it, just like the nunchucks. He has one eye left in the socket there and one eye missing, and the details of the teeth are really nice, and the skull is actually articulated on the spine, which is a really nice touch for them to do, to be able to articulate that. I don't think they had to add it. And then the jaw is also articulated.
G'day, mate. There's nothing that'll bring me back to life faster than a big bag of marble cash.
And then up the spine, all the details of the bits of the spinal cord and the bits of tendon and that left on them. And then at that bottom, we have just some more kind of ligament sticking out, made out of rubber. Really, really nice detailing in that skull, and I'm really happy that it's added. Yeah, it looks really, really nice. Moving on, we have these parts here, which anybody who's seen the movie knows that Deadpool fashions them around his forearms to attach the clawed hands, these clawed hands on for when he's battling the TVA agents at the opening sequence. A bit of a nuisance to get on, to be honest with you. I did have to take the black wrist thing that he has on his wrists. You have to take that off to get these on, and I was trying to put it on without doing that, so it was a bit of a nuisance. But then we have a piece of log or a piece of wood that he is sitting beside or sitting on in the movie at the opening sequence again. Really, really nicely painted. It has the snow effect just sprinkled on it, and all different shades in it, and a wash running through it, and it really does look like a broken branch. It's painted really, really well with the snow effect on it, and the different shades and detailing to it. And then we have this branch here, which has a little nub on it there, as you can see, and that's where you'd be inserting that if you want to fill the hole for the crotch grabber. If you don't want to use the crotch grabber, you just pop that in, and that'll fill that hole on the base. So again, a nice little detail that Hot Toys seem to be doing these days. And then we have all the hands, and every single hand here, bar the claws, are identical to the hands that you get with the clean version, other than the fact that they are painted slightly differently. The gold part on them is a bit more muted down, and the red part on the back is really, really muted down compared to the clean version, and there's a little bit of greyness and wash put through the fingers just to show a bit more of that kind of wear on and weathering on them. But they are identical molds to the clean version. 14 hands in total. Gripping hands, open palm, gesturing hands. We have finger pointing hands. We have trigger hands. We have gesturing hands, thumbs up, and perfection kind of hand. And then we have the love heart hands, that, you know, the gesture that he makes with the love heart. So all identical to the clean version, with the exception of these clawed hands here, which again are from the opening sequence with the Wolverine claws on them. Plastic claws on them, a little bit of weathering on them. They're not perfectly clean, you know, there is a bit of weathering on them, and you can see where they are permanently fixed to this closed fist with the tendons, Wolverine's kind of tendons wrapped around them there, holding them all in place. So that's pretty much it for the hands. So moving on, we will take a look. What we take a look at next, we'll take a look at his Desert Eagles, which are on point. They look the part. They do have moving parts that slide reciprocates, and we do have a magazine that comes out as well, removable magazine as well, with a round in the top of it. And then we do have, if I can get this to focus and get this to zoom in just a little bit, see if I can get this, we do have smile, wait for the flash written on the front. So again, very, very detailed and very movie accurate. And then we have his baby knife. We have two more bones that he uses in the opening sequence. This one here is like a stake. And then we have the other one that he just beats up the TVA guys with. Again, painted really well. A lot of weathering on those particular bones there, but you can see the adamantium effects, through them still. And then we have his katanas and scabbard. And the scabbard is quite weathered and speckled as well. It's not clean. Both sides of it are weathered and speckled, not completely clean like the clean version, obviously. And it looks really nice. And then we have his katanas, plastic, no die cast, exactly like the ones you get with the clean version. Really painted nicely, and it does have the initials of the Golden Girls on it, if I can get it to focus. In actual fact, I'm going to insert a photo right now. And here we have a still of the initials that are on his katanas, and they are initialed after the Golden Girls from the TV show from the 80s. We have Dorothy, Rose, Blanche and Sophia, the 4 girls from the TV show The Golden Girls. So there we have it for the katanas. And then if I get this slip back in, is that the way it goes? No, I had it right the first time. There we go. And then lastly, we have 2 sets of eyes, which is a lot less than we get with the clean version. With the clean version, if my memory serves me correctly, we get 5 sets of eyes. 4 or 5. I'm going to say 5. I think we get 5 sets of eyes. So we are low on eyes. But that's it for all the accessories that come with the figure. Quite a lot, as I said. A lot of hands. A lot of different ways of posing them. So moving on, let's take a look at the base next. As you can see at the bottom of the screen here, we have the base. And we have this part here, which is to represent the dimensional door that opens up, the TVA guys control. And if I can just get this slotted into the base with one hand. No, I can't really. I'm struggling to get this in from this angle. There we go. Is that it? Yeah. And as I said, we have this log piece here as well that I mentioned earlier on that just goes in. If you don't want to use the crotch grabber, it just pops in there and it covers up the hole where the crotch grabber goes. And you can just throw that log there as well. And the bonus to this as well, kind of the bonus is, if you take away this little cover here, it does have a USB port and it does have LEDs to light it up. So what I'll do is I'll plug it in and we will take a look at the light effect on it. And switched on, and there we go. And very underwhelming, I will admit. It doesn't look very good at all. I'm going to flick the lights off. Just let me hide that cable. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll flick off the studio lights, and that's how terrible it looks. It is absolutely terrible. It doesn't light up the whole thing. There's not much power in those LEDs. It only goes up to about there. The LEDs, the effects, it's not great at all. It's really, really, really bad. It's not something I'm going to be using. Let's just go again on that just to show you again. That is terrible. That is so bad. I hope somebody comes up with an aftermarket or a custom idea for how to light that up a little bit better, and then I might use it. But it is not done very well at all. And let me just grab a Deadpool figure there. This is a clean version there, just to show you how tall that doorway is, so you can just gauge how tall that is. I'm not sure if that fit in a detail, but it is, it is a bit taller than him, but it's not a good effect at all. It is really, really bad. It's so bad. One more time. Not very good at all. That's embarrassing on Hot Toys' behalf, if you ask me. But that's it for the base. So moving on, let's have a look at the figure itself. So here we have the Deadpool Battling version, pretty much straight up as he comes out of the box. And starting off in my usual fashion, I suppose, we'll have a look at his feet or his footwear. And we'll work our way up in the usual fashion. And you can see there's quite a lot of speckling on the front of them. All up the toe area there, there's a lot of speckling, and even on the red part there, there's some dirt and grime put into it. There's a wash in it. On the sole of the shoe, there's actually a white effect put on the grip, like he's in the snow, which is a nice little detail that Hot Toys have added. I really like that, and it is a very, very good sculpt of a grip on the sole of the shoe. Around the back of the shoe, you can see some of the white snow kind of effect coming up over the edges of the sole of it there, and some more speckling and weathering on the back of the footwear as well. It's quite a lot of speckling on that. There's a lot of detail put in there. And running up to the shin gauntlet, the same thing, all the speckling on it, and at close inspection you can see there is little specks of white, like it's the snow is stuck to it as well. It's really nicely detailed, really speckled. There's a wash running through all of the creases. It's even more speckled on the right side. The right one is even dirtier and got more wash in it. You know, they're not identical to each other. One of them is slightly more speckled and slightly more dirty, and even as far as his sheath for his baby knife has got the speckling on it as well, with, you know, dirt on it. There doesn't seem to be a single part of this figure that doesn't have some sort of dirt and grime on it. It's really done well. The same with the knee pads. They've got this sandy effect on them, you know, to make it look like he's been down on his knees while he's been battling. We've got a couple of puncture wounds in the leg, like stab wounds, like as if they're Wolverine's claws have gone through him, although they're not wide enough to actually represent or be accurate to Wolverine's claws going in them. I'm not sure if they are actually supposed to be Wolverine's claws, but they kind of look that way. But they're certainly not wide enough to be his claw marks in them. And even around the back of the legs here, you can see, and even if you look closely, you can see the different sections of the suit, of the outfit he's wearing. You can see the sandy effect and the dirt in all the different, you know, sections of the pattern, just to make it look dirtier and grimier. And all the speckling running up the outfit as well, and all up the backside of it there is all filthy and dirty and grimy, and looks really good. It's, like I said, it's a huge contrast to the clean version, a really big contrast to the clean version. Even his gun holster here, again, it's all speckled and it's got this kind of sandy, dirty effect all speckled through it. There's even some white on it as well, like the snow is up on it as well, like it's speckled on it. His magazine holsters are dirty with some speckling and dirt on them as well, and, you know, dirt ingrained into them. A huge contrast, as I said, to the clean version, which we'll have a comparison on a bit later on. Again, more of that sandy effect running through the separation in the suit that he's wearing. And moving up to his belt, you can see that the Deadpool logo has even got some speckling running through it there. All the pouches are all speckled and dirty, and, you know, there's a wash running through them. As I mentioned earlier on, the hands have a bit of dirt on them as well. The gold is kind of muted down a bit compared to the clean version, and the same with the palm of them there. The red is toned down and looks dirty, or dirtier than the clean version. A couple more puncture wounds in his forehand there, or his forearm. You know, looks really nice. And on his chest, again, even more kind of puncture wounds all around this area here, puncture wounds here and puncture wounds up here as well, which all looks on point, looks really good. And even this sheath here for his small little blades have all speckling running through them as well. There's not a single part of it that doesn't. Maybe this strap here could have done with a bit more speckling on it. It's just looks a little bit cleaner than it should, but the top part of it here has all speckling running through it. This, you know, this part that goes over his shoulder does have dirt and speckling running through it as well. Even these gauntlets, or sorry, the shoulder pads, even the shoulder pads have all speckling and dirt running through them as well. So there's not a single part of it that doesn't have weathering on it. It's every single inch of it has weathering on it. Just here on this part here on the shoulder pads, it looks like there's actually blood splatter. There's a little hint of red. If you look really closely, there's a hint of red through it, like there's some blood splatter on them as well. And the chest plate has more of this kind of tan, dusty, kind of sandy kind of effect to it as well, which makes it look, you know, dirty and grimy again. And on this hand here, we have more of those puncture wounds in the forearm as well. So again, it looks like there's 3 of them, like it's a Wolverine wound. Not 100% if it is, but it looks that way. And then around the back, we have more of that kind of sandy, grimy, gritty effect to him as well. So he's really, really weathered, you know, really battle damaged. And just while I have him there, we will just grab the clean version, just to stand up. Now I will do a side by side, a proper side by side a bit later on, but just for now we'll just have a quick look at the contrast between the 2 of them. Like, there's a huge contrast there between the 2 figures, and having both of them, you know, it is valid to have both of them because they are so different. Look how red and vibrant the clean version is compared to the battling version. So it is, you know, it is valid to have both versions of them because they are 2 very different looking figures. The pouches are a lot cleaner. The uniform obviously is all cleaner. Everything is spotless on the clean one, and everything is filthy on the battling one. Just looking at his shoulder pads there, there's scuffing on the shoulder pads on the clean one, and there isn't any scuffing on the battling version. Instead, they've put like speckling through it, you know, just to kind of, I'm just looking there as well. It looks like the shoulder pad is sitting riding a bit higher on the battling version than it is on the clean one for some reason. Just seems to be placed a little bit higher, as you can see there. Are they velcroed on? Is that why? I don't think they're velcroed on, and I certainly don't want to be tugging at that if it's not velcroed on, but it does certainly seem to be sitting higher on the battling version. But just looking at the 2 of them there like that real quickly, you can see the contrast between them and how much cleaner the original release is, and, you know, just showing you the contrast there. Like I said, I will do a proper side by side in a bit further on in the review. So what I'll do now is I will get him a bit more closer in, and we'll have a look at the details in the 3 head sculpts. So here we have head sculpt number 1, the full mast head sculpt. And first of all, as I said, he only comes with 2 sets of eyes. So he has these wide-eyed look, and he has these kind of squinty eyes on him as well. And they're the only eyes you get with him. Now, the other eyes with the clean version are interchangeable, but getting into the details, you can see there's weathering on the eyes. You can see the claw scratches on the side of his head there. And I hope the light catches that. There we go. You can see, and it extends onto the eyepiece. So they are those eyepieces are kind of exclusive to that figure. So as much as the other ones are interchangeable, they won't fit properly, I suppose. But you can see all the wash in all the different sections of the mask. There's a wash in the neck area there, dirt and grime put in there as well. Around the back, the same thing, even more weathering and wash put in the creases, and the back of the neck is all filthy and grimy as well, with more wash in it and all the grooves and that. Around to this side here, you can see there's a bit of kind of an ashy kind of dusty kind of greyish kind of colour to it there, which is on point. And even this side of the mask is all speckled as well. It's not clean. So like I said, not really interchangeable with the clean one. I suppose you could, but it wouldn't be uniformed. And the bottom of the neck there is all filthy and grimy as well. So he is weathered all around, completely weathered all around. So let's move on and have a look at the unmasked head sculpt. And here we have the unmasked head sculpt, Wade Wilson head sculpt, and it's not an uncanny likeness to him, in my opinion. It does look like him. We know who it is. There's just something off about it. I can't quite place what it is. I'd probably be better off looking at the movie again, just looking at some reference pictures to make that judgment, but it just doesn't scream Ryan Reynolds Deadpool to me. But it does have some good details in it. At the side of it there, all the mutation, and all the top of the head there has got all the indents of the mutation all running through it. It moves all the way around to the back. Even at the neck there has got all that mutation in it as well. All of that kind of, what would you call it, kind of, it's like a burned effect or something, whatever it is that happens to him when he mutates. And very, very finely detailed head sculpts. You can see the finer details of how some of these the lesions on his face are smaller in certain areas. He does have this little kind of scar under the just at the side of the cheek there, the bottom of the cheek, and even the creases in the face are different. You can see the scar down the left hand side there, which it isn't on the other side. It's not like it's a carbon copy of the other side. It is two very different looking sides to his face. The lips, in my opinion, are a little bit fuller than Ryan Reynolds' lips. It looks like him, but it just doesn't. To me, it just doesn't feel like it's spot on for him. It's not 100% for him. I don't think the eyes are quite right. The likeness is there, but it's just ever so slightly off. Maybe I've spent too long looking at the present toys one, so maybe that's a possibility. But after we have a look at the last head sculpt, we will do a comparison between the two unmasked head sculpts, this one and the present toys one. This one does have slightly more detail to it, and it does have the rolling eyeball function to it, so it does have that advantage to it. Even the creases in the chin and that are all quite nicely detailed. It is a very well detailed head sculpt, don't get me wrong, and we know who it is. That side profile looks like him. It looks like him from the side. I just think it's the face on that I have an issue with. I think it's the face on looking at him that I have an issue with. I think once I turn him to the side and that, I start seeing more of Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. I would have liked to have seen a better expression than this stoic expression. Maybe a cheeky grin or something would have been a nicer expression to get. But that's it. There we go for that head sculpt. So let's move on. And here we have the unmasked, or the half-masked head sculpt, should I say. And I quite like this one. I think it is definitely a viable option to put on them. You can't remove the eyes because of this part of the mask coming over them. They are a fixed, eye position. You can't swap them out. But it does look the part. I think the lips on this one look more accurate to me to Ryan Reynolds. They're a little bit narrower. I think the other head sculpt there on the right are a bit too full, in my opinion. I think these lips look a bit less full and a bit more like Ryan Reynolds, and even the shape of the jaw just looks more like him to me. But you can see all the dirt and grime in the folds in the mask there. You can even see the detail of the texture of the mask. Looks absolutely fantastic. The side profile, you can see the wash all in all the grooves of it. Looks really nice. There isn't any damage to the eyepieces like there is on the other mask, or any speckling or anything on them. They are fully clean. I'd probably be inclined to believe that this is from an earlier part of the movie, but you can see all the wash and the dirt and grime that's put into all the folds and then all the grooves, and around the back there, same thing, all the dirt and grime and the wash put into it. So it is uniformed with the rest of the battling version outfit that he's wearing to a degree. And I say that because it is a little bit redder, more red than this head sculpt here. As you can see, it is toned a bit more red and a bit more cleaner than the full head sculpt or the full mask sculpt. So it doesn't ultimately match as well as the full masked head. You can see the contrast there. This head sculpt just looks a bit more red, and it might look a bit better on the clean version of him. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't tried it yet, but it doesn't match as well as the full masked head sculpt. So it is what it is. So there we have it for the half masked kind of head sculpt. So like I said, what I'll do now is I'll actually do a comparison between the two unmasked head sculpts, the Hot Toys one and the present toys one. And here we have the two head sculpts side by side. I really like the present toys one. I think it does capture Ryan Reynolds. I think the lips are a bit narrower and look more like Ryan Reynolds. The eyes, to me, on the present toys one are 100% Ryan Reynolds, where the Hot Toys one, maybe it's because of the rolling eye function, they don't have that complete accurate look to Ryan Reynolds on them. Even the side profile there, just looking at them like that, I really see Ryan Reynolds in the present toys one. I'm not saying I don't see him in the Hot Toys one. Is it because maybe he looks more like Deadpool 2 on the present toys one? The back, you can see the difference in the quality even in the back there. The Hot Toys one has far more detail in it, but I love the way that it's all one piece on the present toys one, and you do see that detail of the muscles coming down the back of the neck, and it just seems to look more natural without having that split between the neck piece and the head piece. So they both have their pros and cons, I suppose. We have the rolling eyeball function on the Hot Toys one, and here we have a side by side of the two figures, the clean version and the battling version. And like I said earlier, the contrast is day and night. The two figures look way different, and it does validate having both of them because they do look completely different. Like there's two completely different looks there looking at the two of those figures. And from the side there you can see that, you know, just the wear and tear on the battling version is so different to the clean version. So, you know, you can have, I have two Wolverines. Well, I have one at the moment. I have another one on the way, deluxe. So I'll be battle damaging the deluxe version and putting them with the battle damaged Deadpool, and then my clean version of Wolverine will be going next to my clean Deadpool. Just looking at the back there as well, the amount of wear compared to the clean one is night and day. They look so much different to each other. And here we have him stood next to the Wolverine, and this is the standard version of the Wolverine. As I said a moment ago, I do have the deluxe version coming to me fairly soon as Sideshow starts shipping them, and I will do a review on both of them at the same time. I just didn't see any point in doing a review on the standard version. But there they are stood beside each other. There is a slight little height difference, as there should be. Hugh Jackman being 6'2", 6'3", something like that, and Ryan Reynolds being around 6 foot. So there is a slight little height difference. Maybe not 100% accurate height difference, but there is a slight little height difference. Wolverine is slightly taller. But just looking at that Wolverine figure there, I just noticed, is it just me, or is his neck quite long? I just seem to think that neck is a bit long. But I'll just swap these guys over and we'll have a look at the clean version beside him for now, and just having a look at the clean version with the unmasked head sculpt on. You can see there is a slight bit of a height difference in the two of them, with, you know, with the Deadpool figure being slightly shorter, as it should be. So there we have it for Deadpool and Wolverine. So that pretty much wraps things up for the battling version of Deadpool. If you did like this video, please don't hesitate to hit that like and subscribe button and keep your eye out for future content. As I said, I think those claws that I have in that picture there should probably go on the clean version. Looking at that opening sequence again, he's a lot cleaner than he is in this battling version in that opening sequence, and I think it would be more fitting for some of those accessories that are with this battling version to actually go on the clean version. So if you do have both versions of Deadpool, you can make a more screen accurate version of him and probably have the ultimate version of Deadpool in your collection. So like I said, that's pretty much it. I'll leave you with some images, and don't hesitate to hit that like and subscribe, and take care and keep your eye out for future content. Thanks a lot.